we have a major River Ryan injury update. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. 94% of you have not hit that subscribe button yet. I want to thank the 5% of you that have already subscribed. But you don't want to miss out on any big Dodger news, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. Let's get right into it. River Ryan was injured today against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Just a terrible situation for sure. River Ryan, the young pitcher who has been great for the Dodgers, was pitching great in this ball game. And we got the report from the Dodgers that this is due to right forearm tightness. This is Jack Harris of the LA Times kind of confirming the news. Dodgers had to remove Ryan from tonight's game in the 5th inning. He was pitching great, just giving up just 4 hits through 4 2/3 innings. He was definitely pitching a good game, to say the least, right? And he was shown, shaking his right arm in discomfort before, leaving the ball game. And once that happened, there were some people on social media talking about this could have been a blister, but it definitely looked like it was arm related just by his body language out there. And this is a big blow for the Dodgers, who are at this point, decimated with injuries when it comes to the starting rotation, right? I mean, you have Walker Buehler, who's out right now, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's not playing as well. We got some good news with Walker Buehler, who had his last rehab start and is going to be back on Wednesday. It's looking like for a start against the Milwaukee Brewers in a huge series out in Wisconsin. So that's going to be Walker Buehler's first start in a while for the Dodgers. Very excited to see what's going to happen with that. But with the River Ryan injury, I mean, you had to have, of course, this injury is pretty bad for the Dodgers because, River Ryan has been, really good for the team. He's been a pitcher that's been reliable. He's only pitched 4 games, but he's been a pitcher that's definitely, been, you would say reliable, like I mentioned, through his 4 games pitching with the Dodgers. Exceptional pitching, to say the least, for the Dodgers. Take a look at his stats: a 1.33 ERA, a 1-0 record, 3 no decisions in 4 starts. And for him to go down with an injury at this point, it's just really, really concerning, to say the least. Because he's been a pitcher that has been exciting to watch. I mean, I was really impressed with River Ryan's start against the Houston Astros. That's where I think River Ryan was very, very impressive. He looked very good against a very quality opponent on the road in Texas. And I think that's when everybody kind of realized this guy is going to be probably a pitcher that the Dodgers are going to be able to count on. There was even some possibility before this injury that River Ryan would be a pitcher that would make the playoff roster. Despite his young age, 25 years old, not too young, but I mean, his lack of Major League Baseball experience, but just the way he was pitching and the way all the injuries have been going with the Dodgers. I mean, if Walker Buehler and Yamamoto come back and they're not really at full strength, and you had River Ryan still pitching at the level he's pitching, I think the Dodgers would choose to put River Ryan on that playoff roster. So that's where it was, prior to this injury. River Ryan potentially getting on the playoff roster. Just by the way, River Ryan, was looking in the games that he had been playing leading up to this. Just showing, for at his young age, just showing a lot of intelligence out there and being calm, which is something that I think young pitchers don't usually have. River Ryan has been one of those pitchers that has really shown a lot of control when he pitches up there, which is rare for a pitcher, that has such little Major League experience. Because, River Ryan has run into trouble with, his games. I mean, think about today. He did run into trouble in a couple of innings, if I'm not mistaken, today. But he's able to get through it. He's able to kind of show composure. I mean, I was really impressed with his start against the Houston Astros. That was the one that really impressed me, and it's just really unfortunate to hear and to see River Ryan get injured today against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And what's more concerning about this injury is that River Ryan started the 2024 season on the injured list with a shoulder fatigue during spring training. You gotta remember, River Ryan is a fairly new pitcher. River Ryan started his career as a shortstop, drafted by the San Diego Padres. The Dodgers got him in a trade for Matt Beattie a few years back. And the Dodgers switched him over to the pitching position. They thought he could be a more successful pitcher, and they decided to have him focus on pitching. And I think it was the right decision because he's clearly an elite Major League Baseball pitcher. It's kind of crazy this guy is a shortstop as well. He can hit. He's a pretty good hitter in minor league baseball. Of course, pitchers no longer hit. Would have been interesting to see, River Ryan getting a chance to play for a National League team prior to the designated hitter switch, right? Because before the pitchers used to hit for themselves, it would have been interesting to see, River Ryan get a chance to hit for himself on a nightly basis whenever he started. That's no longer the case. But, with River Ryan, being focused now as a pitcher, and now 2 injuries in one season, in basically the first year that he's in major league, talks, right? Because the guy was a minor league pitcher the last year or so. I believe a little over a year, pitched 2023. But the earliest season, had to go on the injury list, and his minor league, beginning minor league starts this season was cut short due to the shoulder fatigue that he was dealing with during spring training, and now this is going to even push him back even further. The question is how long, how long is this injury going to take? What kind of injury is it? I think that's what everybody's kind of wondering right now. The diagnosis is still just right forearm tightness, but is this actually an elbow injury? I think that's what everybody at this point is really concerned with. Because if this is an elbow injury, this could potentially have big ramifications for the Dodgers in terms of if this is, we don't know how bad it is. Don't want to speculate at this point with the injury, but if this is a big injury, the Dodgers really can't afford this. They're already a pitching rotation that's already pretty battered, and they got to hope that River Ryan is going to be just a 14-day, 3-week kind of thing, and he's back pitching, because I really think this guy can find himself on the playoff roster. Probably not the first, second starter, but he's got an opportunity maybe to be that third or fourth starter come playoff time, especially if Yamamoto and Buehler come back and are just not really at full strength. And River Ryan, was potentially could have been that third or fourth starter. We'll see if this injury, takes him off that list. Dodgers, of course, beat the Pirates tonight 4-1. Unable to get the shutout, unfortunately. Daniel Hudson gave up a run there in the 9th inning, but 4-1 win. It was an important win today for the Dodgers because the Dodgers, of course, knew going into this game that the San Diego Padres had already won, defeating the Marlins. Got a chance to watch that game. Unfortunately, the Marlins blew the lead. The Marlins are just an awful team. They're just an awful organization, and it's just ridiculous that they're still even in Major League Baseball the way they play. But anyway, they blew the game against the Padres today. And then the D-backs won 11-1. Just bad to see if you're a Dodger fan. The D-backs catching fire at the wrong time. So San Diego's 2.5 back, and Arizona's 3.5 back. So luckily the Dodgers did win to keep those leads where they are. Tomorrow, Dodgers got to try to see what happens, of course, with San Diego and Arizona. But you got to worry by yourself. You got to try to win and sweep the Pirates ahead of their huge series against the Milwaukee Brewers, starting Monday in Milwaukee. Big 4-game set. Gotta hope the Dodgers can win some ball games out in Wisconsin. Remember to subscribe to Dodgers Digest for more great Dodger content.